Good morning and welcome to a review of Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Sorry for my voice being like this because I woke up because I know Zom 100 was going to be airing at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I had to wake up first thing bright and sunny morning to do this review. Bear with me on this one voice. So we on episode 3, and this entire thing covers the entire landscape of Bucket List of the Dead, covering all chapters from this, and we're going to chapter 2 of Zom 100. Now, here's the thing. In the world of a zombie apocalypse, you gotta have resources. You gotta know the types of zombies you're dealing with. You gotta know how to kill, how to survive in a zombie apocalypse. And there are basic materials to do so. Gather travel light, gather some materials, grab some melee weapon that doesn't damage you or something like that. Anything to survive. And you have to drink plenty of water and some good food, not heavy food. Those kind of things that you see to survive in a zombie apocalypse. There are many procedures to do so. But the one thing you need to do when doing a bucket list is having fun with your best friend. Yes, what better way to have a zombie apocalyptic world than with your best bud? Now, chances are you may not see your best bud in a world of a zombie apocalypse, but if you get that one chance to hang out with your best bud, this is the time to do so. And for Akira's sake, you got that opportunity. And again, when it comes to having best friends are the people that they will call you if you want to hang out. They will call you if you need a drink, to talk, this and that. A best friend is for someone who could back you up no matter what. Ifs, ands, or buts, they will back you up. And like this episode, we have got it. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Okay, now episode 3 review. Let me just cut to the chase with Sho. I like how the opening starts off with Sho and his group of gentlemen, and Sho being the number one person got his entire club as a shelter, and having a little girl missing her parents, even though her parents are dead. I felt watching that clip reminds me of Alice from High School of the Dead. You guys remember Alice? I take High School of the Dead seriously. You remember that scene where Alice was with the father, and as soon as he opened the door, he got stabbed and died. And Alice watched her father died, and the zombies were coming after her. That was her. So and her gentlemen was protecting everyone, and most of the gentlemen were facing a horde of zombies, and some of them have died. And it was a war. While that is happening, Akira is just riding his motorcycle. And every time I see him ride his motorcycle, he is straight up Daryl. He is a total badass riding his motorcycle. And he said, "Don't worry, Kencho, I'm coming." He's coming for his best bud. Now, I see how the opening is doing. It's doing like previous episodes from that one. So I say they're keeping it, but it's doing the previous episodes, like the supermarket one. I see it. But back to what I was saying. So Akira is living a life. 3 years, never had a good time to do some things, so that's what his bucket list is all about. I mean, he tried growing a beard. Having a beard, trying to grow one. And he tried to put a permanent marker so he can make it look like that, but yeah, he tried. But that was one of his lists. So, nothing to do, this and that. The internet's back on. He's lucky because not in a zombie apocalypse, from a guy who watched zombie movies, you know how rare internet Wi-Fi comes up? You know how rare it is that shit comes up? I mean, for real. Once a zombie apocalypse hits, the phone's dead. There's like, what the fuck? There's nothing, you ain't gonna get contact with anybody. It's so rare that he managed to get some contact. He managed to get contact with Kencho and the other, but we got something to know about him and Kencho as best friends. They've been best friends since college. They've been playing rugby, and Kencho is always the funny one. When the chips are down, he's that guy who could make people laugh. And that's what Kencho is all about. His best friend. And Kencho himself put him in a weird ass predicament. I mean, let's think about this. He's in a brothel. I call it a brothel. That's what he's at. He's in a brothel where you see zombie bunny girls and these pimps and all that shit. But other than that, he's been surviving for 3 days now with a little bit of food and water. Not only that, he even got a zombie tied up in a bondage situation. Like, you know, a little bondage where they tie it up like this? That's what that zombie is at right now. And he's stuck with that one. I mean, yeah, he survived, but at the same time, let's be real. At least he picked the right room to tie up a zombie. A bondage room nonetheless. I mean, way to go. I mean, the only thing he got to do is put that ball on her mouth, and then just like be all that. I mean, just do that. But leave it to Akira to call him and say he'll pick him up in Shinjuku. Just leave it to him. Now, Showcase. Now, a side character like Sho was about to die. I mean, seeing his friend turn into zombie and they coming after him. Leave it to Akira. Save Sho. Akira saved his ass. I mean, literally, he put his rugby ball on a card to make the sound. And I enjoy this episode because, again, they're doing exactly how zombies are supposed to do. I love it. Zombies are attracted by sound. And that's what I like. What I mean by liking about it, I mean, I like how they focus on how zombies are. I like how they doing it, like in terms of how zombies are supposed to be active and how they attracted by sound and all that stuff. Because we've seen that a lot, and just like that, what they did with the whole, with the putting the rugby ball in the car. I mean, to make the alarm work, you know, that really working and attracted all the zombies. So Akira is really knowledgeable. I mean, again, he may have a bucket list that's funny, but at least he's knowledgeable what to do and what not to do. And this is what we're talking about: entertainment versus management. And that's what he is all about. So as soon as he said Kencho, he said he's sorry for bad-mouthing him. Now, so we got a flashback of how it all started. Why Kencho apologized to Akira. Because remember, this was when Akira was in that depressed state. This was when Akira was in that depressed state and there's nothing for him to do and he had no time. Remember, this is depressed Akira. And his best friend was, Kencho was telling him about, you know, working out of real estate, and he's making all this money. He's saying, I've been promoted. I even got a model. You know, she's gorgeous. And Akira just bad mouthing him, you know. And Akira was bad mouthing him, saying about how, oh, your life is better than, you know. He said, shut up about your life. What about my life? You know, keep bragging. Because Kencho was keep bragging about it. And Akira was at the time jealous, angry and jealous of that he got a successful life. And he had all the time he could do things and he couldn't. So that's why he was apologizing for that. Now, as a horde of zombies was coming around, once they got to the roof, Akira got guts. You talking about balls of steel? What he just did was balls of steel. For him to jump from one building to another, that athletic legs of Akira. I mean, he got the sports legs. I mean, for him to run and jump from one building to another, that is athletic as it is. This boy's the MVP. Yo. If there was a nominated for best male character of the year, this guy, Akira, needs to be on that fucking list on the Crunch Anime Awards. I kid you not. The things he does to survive and to have fun at it, and just the way he did that, he's a first ballot pick for sure. Now Kencho, okay. For him, it was like That scene was so emotional. Everything about this scene was emotional, guys. I mean, let's be real. He when he saw Akira made that jump, and I read this chapter when I first read it, I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I didn't want him to die because that's Akira's best friend. But his last before he died, like the thing that his world was gonna end, he actually wanted to tell Akira the truth about everything before he died. And to sum it up, everything was a lie. He's been kissing asses. He lied about the model because that model went from an NTR. Basically, the same thing that he went through is the same thing Akira's going through. You know, because let's think about it. Akira's girl, quote unquote, ended up with the ugly bastard hentai tag with an NTR ugly bastard thing. I mean, that freaking chick went to that one. I don't know why people like her in the first episode. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It had an NTR and an ugly bastardness going on in that one. And with this model that Kencho had, I mean, that was a fake too. Ended up with a freaking NTR world. I feel bad for those two guys that ended up in the NTR vibe. For real. For real. NTR ugly bastard vibe. I'm sorry, but that's how I felt bad. But again, he's sorry for bragging about it. He's sorry for, you know, bragging about it, lying about it, even though his life was depressing those 3 years that Akira was going through. So he's sorry for that. But, you know, Akira has a heart of a thick as nails. You know, it's so... He knows what Akira was going through. And he said, you could do what you want. What do you want it to be? Say it. Just have fun with it. He wants to be a stand-up comedian, a stand-up comic. Like that's his dream. That is his dream, to be a stand-up comic. And if you want to do that, go do that. And for him to jump from one building naked, like he legit was taking off his clothes naked. I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad I kept that. Like that beam star they put under there. Well, that's a different topic in another way. And for him to jump from one building to another, and for him to scrape his balls. That's one funny way to end it. One funny way to end it than to scrape his balls. He is a stand-up comic for a reason. Oh, and by the way, I'll be honest with you guys. This ain't the first time you're going to see him naked. I'm going to be honest with you guys. From a guy who's been reading Zom 100 a lot, this ain't going to be the first time he's going to be naked. He's going to be naked a lot. Trust me. I know. So, and I like how he said drinking with his best bud, but I like hearing Kencho's relationship as best friends, you know, for them to sit down in the nighttime drinking beer, being naked and drinking beer is so funny. But I'm sorry, but that was so funny just to see that. But it is what it is. I'm sorry, it was just so funny. But again, that was one of his bucket lists, drink with his best bud. So now we covered this. Volume 1 is done now, guys. We are finished with Volume 1. Now we're covering this one. And I gotta tell you guys, the next chapter of Zom 100, the next episode of Zom 100 is gonna upset me. It's going to A Flight Attendant of the Dead. That scene is going to upset me. I kid you not. I'm gonna be sad watching this part. I'm gonna be sad when this episode airs. I kid you not. Yeah, it's gonna be good, but at the same time, it's gonna be sad. So guys, for those of us who have read Volume 2 and know what's gonna happen, we already know. But again, this was a good episode, like really emotional episode for Akira and Kencho, showing their true, the sadness. They're showing off their true emotions before, you know, and having funny moments like Kencho just going off naked and scraping his balls. How you ended it like that? It was so freaking funny. But again, having your best bud around in the zombie apocalypse will make things a whole lot better in the world of apocalypse. So the adventures, guys, their adventures are still strong, and trust me, if y'all read it, continue reading it. So I look forward for next week's episode of the Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, which I'm not, because we're covering this. So let's see where this goes. So stay tuned for next week.